Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, Sweet Pink Home. It's Elizabeth here. Hello. Anyway, it is almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and I cannot sleep. So I decided to do a video of 4 reasons why you probably can't sleep and what to do about them. Now, this is just a personal opinion. I'm not a sleep expert. I'm just giving you my 4 reasons why I can't sleep and what I'm going to do about them. So, the first one is probably pretty simple. And I don't know about you, but as a mom, I go to bed, I lay down, and my brain starts to download things. Like thinking about the entire day and all the things I have to do tomorrow and all that kind of stuff. So, one thing I do, because that happens a lot to me, is I'll get in bed and my brain will just start going on and telling me about all the things I have to do for this week or what happened today and just stuff like that. And so what I do is I have a little notebook that I just jot stuff down and kind of declutter my brain and tell my brain, okay, we're going to write all this down, no matter how silly it might be, and no matter how silly it might seem. Trust me, it works for me. And so I have this little notebook where I write down all these things that I'm thinking about that are stressing my body and my brain to not be able to go to sleep. So that is my first tip, number 1, is to have a notebook or something to write on. And just write down all the things that your brain and your mind are downloading when you go to fall asleep. And that's one reason why I can't sleep right now, is because my brain is thinking about all the stuff for the holiday coming up, because Christmas is almost here. So, yeah, that's my first tip, is write it down, what's going through your brain, all that stuff. It helps a lot, because then it quiets your brain and thinks, oh, well, now I don't have to think about these things because they're written down and your mind is secure about that. So that is my first tip, number 1, as to why you can't sleep and what you should do about it. My second tip for not being able to sleep is why you can't sleep and what to do about it, is that a lot of times we'll go to bed and we'll get on our phones and we'll play on our phones before we go to bed. And my tip for this one, and I know it's hard for some people, is keep those electronics out of your bedroom. When it's time to go to sleep, keep that time devoted to sleep. Do not take that phone in with you to bed, because chances are you'll spend like half an hour, 45 minutes just looking at useless stuff that your mind needs to be quiet about to begin with. Because number 1, you've already written down what's going on in your brain, and now you're going to watch something on your phone. It's not going to help. Trust me, you're not going to be able to sleep that way. So these are just things I've done in my personal life that seem to help me get to sleep better. And my third tip as to why you probably can't sleep is that your brain is just going on and downloading all this stuff, and then you go and you play on your phone, and then you go to sleep and you realize that you're not comfortable. So then you have to get up and you have to find another blanket because you're cold, or your husband starts to snore. At least that's what happens for me, is I'm almost asleep and my husband starts to snore, or I get cold, so I have to go find another blanket. Or because I have a toddler, sometimes she'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, I just barely got to sleep, and now she's crying, or now he's snoring, and that sort of thing. So what I do in regards to this is, obviously I can't control if my toddler wakes up in the middle of the night. I have to address that one. But as far as my environment and stuff like that, as far as me being cold, what I have done is I have an extra blanket near my bed, so I don't actually have to get out and get that blanket. It's already right near my bed, so I can just wrap up in it, or also my robe as well. Sometimes I'll have my robe nearby. And so I kind of pre-plan the fact that I'm probably going to get cold during the night. Or a lot of times, like my toddler, she'll wake up in the middle of the night. And so you just kind of have to deal with those ones. Those are ones you can't really control, but that's what I do to help myself when those things occur. And then the other one is when your husband snores. Now, a lot of people say, well, you should get him checked out for sleep apnea because he snores, and we haven't done that yet. So when he does snore, usually I will wake him up and be like, honey, you're snoring, making it really hard for me to sleep right now. Oh, sorry. Yeah, see, I told you I was tired. So then he considers me as well, and he tries not to sleep. Now, granted, tries not to sleep, tries not to snore. Now, granted, there are things you can do as far as, like, you know what they say to help people with snoring, as far as elevating their heads and that sort of thing. And so I try to turn him over and get him to where he can sleep peacefully without snoring. So that is my third tip, is kind of prepare for what you know is going to occur as far as being cold, your husband snoring, or your toddler waking up in the middle of the night. So my fourth and final tip is if caffeine gets you like really wired before you go to bed, consider drinking something that you know is kind of going to put you in a sleepy mood. And I have a special tea that I drink. It's like a sleepy time tea, and that seems to help a lot. And if you're like me, and when you have caffeine, you're like, you get all buzzed and stuff, try not to drink that before you go to bed, at least a half an hour before you go to bed, because you're going to be all wired up and stuff like that. So that is my fourth and final tip, is considering what you drink, and also along with that, consider what you eat as well, because a lot of times if you eat like spicy foods before you go to bed, it gets you like congested and gives you heartburn, and so that makes it hard to sleep too. So that is my fourth and final tip on reasons you can't sleep and what to do about them. And I hope that this video helps somebody out there. So give it a thumbs up if you like my video, and comment down below on tips that you do for yourself to help yourself go to sleep when you can. And my last little tidbit is a lot of people out there have insomnia. And so that is my final tip, is if you have insomnia, I'm really sorry for you, and I hope that you can get some help with that, because insomnia is a real thing and it really does affect people. And so if insomnia is one thing that you deal with, hopefully you can get some medical help with that. And so that's just my little last tidbit there on helping yourself get to sleep. And I hope you guys have a great day. Be blessed. See you later. Bye.